So the first thing I would like to say is that we should all fight against the subjugation of women. But we don't have to be feminists for women to find their voice. And that's what I'm going to be showing you in this speech. So, what exactly is feminism? Feminism is expectedly ambiguous. It means a million things to a million people. So I'm not going to delve into defining everyone's idea of feminism. But quite simply, feminism is about all genders having equal dignity, equal rights, and equal opportunities. Now, principally speaking, most persons can agree that all genders deserve equal dignity. However, the concepts of equal rights and opportunity are practically and circumstantially flawed. As a matter of fact, the universe and nature are a constant contradiction to the idea of equality. From galaxies to planets, continents to nations, leaders to followers, adults to children, and even from one body part to another, we can attest to anything but equality. Now, interestingly, the level of privilege and power that most feminists believe men enjoy are in fact enjoyed by some elite and privileged few. Most men are still poor, underprivileged, frustrated, and under pressure to succeed. So to be very fair, the ordinary man is a victim of the patriarchy, just like the ordinary woman. And this then begs the question, is equality possible? In my opinion, equality is not possible. What is possible is equity. Now, equality means that each individual or group of people are given the same resources and opportunities. Equity, on the other hand, recognizes that circumstances are different, and then it allocates the exact resources that are needed to achieve the same outcome in different circumstances. Now, before I proceed, permit me to play a bit of a devil's advocate here. Now, gender equality means that there should be no discrimination amongst both genders, right? Then should we make men and women share the same public washroom? Should we compel men and female athletes to participate in the same sporting events? Should we deny women maternity leave because men don't get paternity leave? Should we make male and female inmates share the same prison cell? And if you leave me, I can go on and on and on. But needless to say, such a direct application of feminism or equality is going to be to the detriment of women. And why is that so? Because nature has made men and women different from a physical point of view. Men are naturally larger and stronger, and that means that men are physically superior. However, this does not mean that women are inferior to men. Several studies show that women are naturally more empathetic, more intuitive, and are better at multitasking. And that also means that there are several areas where women are going to perform better than men, while there are areas where men and women can perform almost equally. And that includes, but is not restricted to, leadership. So, where does this lead us? Do we conclude that men are superior to women in certain areas, whereas women are superior to men in certain areas, while there are areas where both of them are mostly equal? In my opinion, I think it's best to conclude that men and women complement each other. Neither of them can realistically exist without the other, so the conversation should be about how both genders can better coexist and maximize their potential, and equity answers this question. Equity is not about giving the woman the kind of attention we've given the man. It's about giving the woman the kind of attention that a woman needs to maximize her potentials. But this is, of course, complicated by the ambiguity of the current feminist movement. Now, the biggest problem I see with the current feminist movement is that it is no longer just a protest against unjust laws and sexist institutions. It is now mostly a protest in favor of some people's biases and an avenue for angry women to spite men because of centuries worth of cultural norms and heritage that disadvantage women. So what we see is a movement that unnecessarily seeks to undermine men as opposed to empowering women. And the clearest example of this is the global feminist debate about equality in marriage. Now, the movement doesn't seem to have a problem with women submitting to the instruction of male bosses, to the authority of male heads of state, or to the guidance of male senior colleagues in their workplace. But the movement seems to have a problem with men being the leader or playing the lead partner position in the context of marriage. So the question is, if leadership exists in every other aspect of society, why is it particularly problematic for leadership to exist in the context of the family? And why is it problematic for a man to lead in that context? Thus, what you see is that today's feminism has a measurement problem. Now, don't get it twisted. It's easy to calculate the number of female CEOs and female heads of states. It's easy to estimate the number of females who get admitted into medical schools. And it's easy to know whether men and women are paid the same salary for the same work. All you need to do is use your calculator or conduct basic research, and you have the answers. But the question is, how do we measure social justice and equality? If our neighbors prefer me to my sister, is it because she is a woman or because I'm more sociable? If there are more male CEOs than female CEOs, is it because society detests female-owned businesses or because relative to men, most women are risk-averse? If there are more men in political position, is it because of gender oppression or because the ratio of male to female aspirants in most elections is about 100:1? Or even more aptly, if a woman decides to run for the office of president in a controversial nation like Nigeria, will majority of Nigerian women vote the woman, or will they be convinced that the man would do a better job? Now, what if the Rwandan men protest masculine oppression because majority of people in parliament have always been women? Ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, modern-day patriarchy is more of a psychological limitation for women than it is an issue of systematic discrimination. In our days, women can achieve whatever it is they are determined to achieve in secular states and institutions. And there are facts to corroborate this claim. According to the United Nations Women Division, 26 women were heads of state and governments in 24 countries as of September 1st, 2021. Today, a Nigerian woman is the Director General of the World Trade Organization, and the number of female CEOs in the Fortune 500 has hit a new record of 74 as opposed to just 7 in 2002. Now, these women and many more rose to their full potentials and achieved things that would have been considered unthinkable in centuries past, not by competing with men, but by being authentic women. And that is why I want to challenge every woman listening to me today. I dare you to dream bigger, enlarge your vision, and become more daring do. Now, in summary, I'd like to reiterate that men and women are created differently. But that differently is not so that we can compete with each other equally in every area. That difference is so that we can complement each other. However, there's a kind of equality that is possible, and that is equality of dignity. And it involves extending the same respect to both genders and offering the same pay scale and recognition to champions of different genders in their different domain. And finally, I would like to say that our world doesn't have to be feminine or masculine for everyone to be happy. Our world just has to be humane. Thank you for listening.